My name is Jeff Solomon. I live in Meaford, Ontario. I was born and raised here. Grew up here. I got hurt here when I was 17. Broke my back. Went to Lyndhurst for not long originally, but then I spent many moons there in the 70s as I had umpteen dozen pressure sores, but that on the other hand introduced me to this young student physiotherapist that I met there in the mid 70s, and later on I married her, and we're still married, which is very good. We did live in Toronto for 4 years, but then my father died in 1980 and we moved up here, and I took over the family business selling insurance, which I did for 28 years. I'm now retired and living the life of an old dude. Last fall, I got extremely sick and didn't know what was going on. Turned out I had an abscess of some sort, which in the end of October burst open and revealed this very large sore on my bottom in a very awkward spot. And I spent 6 weeks in the hospital and had various things done to me, and I've now been at home since just before Christmas, spending all of the time in bed. I can sit for a little bit, but I don't sit for very long because I am trying to heal my bottom after all. Mm-hmm. And initially the plan was I was going to have surgery, and the surgeon saw me in November and said there's no way that she would do anything to it at that time because it was in pretty rough shape. She saw me again in March and agreed that yes, it had healed up to a point where surgery would be good. But then surgery just didn't seem to happen, and the nurses, who have been absolutely fantastic, said, yeah, let's just heal it. And so surgery is now off the table, and I'm laying around waiting for it to heal. Well, lack of mobility has never been a problem for me. I mean, I've often had that. Although in years gone by, I'd spent many, many moons at Lyndhurst, and they always had a banana cart for me, which I don't have here. But back at the beginning when I first had this, it's the first time I've ever had doctors tell me that it was life-threatening. And I will admit that it scared me because I was really sick. But then, again, thanks to the excellent nursing care that I was getting, even in the hospital, the feeling sick went away within a few weeks, and things started to look up, and they got the wound cleaned up. And the idea was that they were just sort of going to keep it clean and wait for the surgery, but then the home care nurses, as they said, had different ideas. I mean, when I first went into the hospital, I had also tested positive for COVID. So I've got something that's life-threatening, I've got COVID, I can't have any visitors for 10 days. There's not a lot of people to talk with, so I talked to nurses. And I found the ones that I chose to talk to were ones that I'd sort of gotten to know a little bit over a few days and felt they would be people that would listen. I know they didn't have any great ideas as to help me, but they're willing to listen. And that's what I needed more than anything, was just somewhere to vent. Because I was afraid, and I vented to 3 or 4 different people, and that just seemed to be what I needed to get me over the hump and get me back onto the healing ways. As I said, the nursing care, especially in the home care end of it, I've got 2 absolutely fabulous nurses who I can't speak highly enough about. And the fact that I'm home At first, I didn't think this was a good idea, but it is, and I'm home. My wife is doing an amazing job looking after me, and I feel badly about that because everything is now on her. Now, if nothing else, it will give her an appreciation for what little I do around the house. but you know, she's a trooper, and whether that's her physio background or whether it's just the way she is, I think it's more just the way she is. You know, we do various things. We have things that we like to watch, she and I together. We watch a lot of cycling. And back in 2004, when she first wanted me to watch cycling, I kind of thought, God, watching cycling is kind of like watching paint dry. But then I learned what the sport was about, and it can be exciting. It can still be kind of like watching paint dry some days, but there are some days it's quite exciting, and we watch a lot of it. It gives us a tour around the world, because we've been in Belgium and Italy and France and Spain and Portugal and Holland and we've been all over Europe. The biggest barriers, the things that the government doesn't tell you are going to get downloaded onto you. The bed that I'm on, for example, fortunately, SCI Ontario has given me a bed and a mattress to use, and it's sort of on a permanent loan. But initially, I thought I was going to have to rent it. It's $400 a month, you know, to get what you had in the hospital. I had to go down to London to see the surgeon. When you're in the hospital, that voyage is down and back is covered. When you're at home, it isn't, and it's $2,000. And so there's barriers, plus all of the things, you've now got a bed, which is not your normal bed. You need to buy sheets for the bed, pads to go underneath you. The number of things that we've had to buy just to make this doable. Now, some of them are going to be very useful in the future, but some of them are not. My biggest advice for somebody else who's facing like this is just to take it one day at a time and try not to let it stress you out, because it can be. I mean, it stresses me out sometimes when I think about all of the things that my wife has to do. But that's really the only thing that stresses me. I mean, my job is to lie here and do what I'm told. And as long as you lie here and do as you're told, then things will get better.